Right, let's have a look here. The first level for bounce on BTC. I thought I'd do a quick video. It's probably a little bit better. The next major level, of course, is this pivot here. I would probably suggest that we're not gonna break that too easy. I don't think. And what I'm trying to get at is, see here. I don't know if that's a good example or not, but I kind of expect some sort of move like that. Meaning that we're going to close weak here, we're going to close weak here, and then have a small green candle like this. See this green candle here we formed there? That's kind of what I'm picturing in my mind at this point. To show a new weekly candle, a dip into the wick. See that small dip into the wick and then flip green? That's the way I see this playing out at this point. And then maybe you get that second candle back up, and then we flush down lower, right? That's the way I think it's going to play out. Time will tell if I'm right or not. Sometimes in very strong markets, you just open up and you get another red candle down. At this point, I'm not thinking that that's going to happen because there's quite a lot of support in here. Anything is possible in the market, but there's a lot of support right here. This is the gap point. Here was resistance. Here resistance as well, and you can see in here is still resistance as well. If we can climb a little bit, we're kind of back inside there. So that's the way I'm expecting to play out. I think most of the move is done for now. Then we chop sideways for 2 weeks or a month. It could be another month. We get a small bounce or whatever for next month or whatever it is, and then we go lower again. We do have to be aware, right? What if I'm wrong? Okay, what if I'm wrong? That's the way I think it's going to play out, but it's not always going to play out that way. If I just hide these so there's no confusion, if there's a small bounce, right? Let's make this bigger because there's likely to be an upside, right? There is likely to be upside. If we open up on Monday morning and get a bounce first, I would suggest a bounce into the white 100, up into this area. It's not going to reach that far, I don't think, but somewhere up in here, right, a bounce. And then if we drop down and flip red, right, on that, then I would be more concerned that this is going to continue to drop because it's a failed move to the upside. We'll drop back down, flip red, and we could get that continuation. The way I'm thinking is we get a very small drop down into the wick first on Monday, and then pop up and flip green and have a small green weekly candle, or 2 week candle. That is the way I'm thinking it's going to play out. Now this is a 2 week candle, by the way, but as mentioned, I think most of the damage is done here. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean a bounce and a drop down could flip, and we could flush. We could get that really bad flush. It's always possible. Like here, it's a good example actually, but there wasn't much upside. You can see that this is dropping into the low of the range. Now, one thing I do want to say is it's never good to be breaking down below the red and the purple 200 like this on a daily chart. That's a daily chart we broke down on. It's definitely an interesting breakdown. Now, the last time something like this happened, when you flushed below there, was probably COVID crash. Let's just go back here. See the way you broke under all moving averages here. You get that move up and you broke below all moving averages there. Now don't get me wrong, it happened here actually, and you went into a severe chop, right? It happened where you broke down below there again. Slightly different there. But breaking below is dangerous because big flushes can happen. You can see here the first attempt to break lower did actually go into severe chop. I think that's probably more likely. We're going to go into a more choppy environment. In the near term, on a new, I would say a new day, it's possible. Now, it's tough to say, but there's always the possibility of getting something like this. Say we close somewhere there, and you get the wick down. Like I think what I'm trying to say is I think we're into a support level. You're saying, let me read your message again. Well, next level for a bounce. I kind of think we're here. I don't think the bounce is going to be very big or strong at this point. I think it's going to be more choppy. But I think that we are into this level for a bounce. Maybe it's going to pierce these lows and stop on down into below there. on a new day. If we do stop on those lows, you know, that's a buy for a small bounce higher. Like I would be more confident in saying that the low is already in and we are going to bounce from here if we hadn't broke below the red 200. But this is a bounce potential place right now. If I can show you, is there another example? See here, it's not a great example actually, but I just noticed that now. See, you get the flush and then you actually come down, take liquidity. We are taking liquidity in the wick right now, and then you can see here that we bounce back up from there. So the daily finished strong. If I can zoom in, let's actually zoom in a bit. So you can see here you get the flush down, you take liquidity on the wick, and then you bounce back up, and then the next day is green, and then you get your short for the next leg lower. Right? We are doing something very similar right now. We are taking liquidity in this wick, and potentially the low could already be in. And then we bounce a little bit today, and then tomorrow we have a green day back up.